you all having a great week? My week's been super busy. I know I'm going live a lot later than I normally would, but at least it worked out. Amanda's live was a ton of fun. I was in Amanda's live, commenting in her comments. Saw a lot of you guys there. That was a ton of fun. I hope I have everything set up correctly. But this week I was reading about the UN. I don't know if any of you guys have done any research. I think my Instagram and TikTok algorithms are sending me more stuff about the UN and about Elon Musk and all these different things that I've been just looking into because it's been so fascinating. And so that's the first thing I want to bring up in my live today. And of course, I don't know how accurate all this is. It sounds super out there. Oh, hey, what's up, Prudence? Hello, everybody. Yeah. Sorry, I get distracted way too easily. But I just wanted to read their actual statement because listen to this, you guys. The UN stands for the United Nations. Is an organization whose stated purpose is to maintain international peace and develop friendly relations among nations. And I thought that's a really cool description. To me, I just interpret that as world peace. Who doesn't want that, right? I think that's really cool. So then I started looking more into it, and I was like, wondering what kind of stuff that they've done. How are they, if that's their goal, I wonder how they're working towards it. What kind of things are they implementing? But then I saw this post about Elon Musk asking them like a realistic estimation of what they think if they were to guess and like have actual factual data and evidence as to what amount of money would end world hunger. And this is like, whoa, that got my attention. And they they did the research. I don't know how they did. This is what I need to look into a little bit more for sure. But I thought that was really interesting. He wants to know what the number is, right? And I think I don't know if there's an actual accurate way to do this, but I feel like hopefully like if anyone could figure out a rough estimate, maybe they can. Who knows? Because they came up with a number, and I thought that was kind of interesting. But they said, in the article, it says the UN estimated the cost of world hunger would be roughly $6 billion, and it goes on and explains that that's what they estimate would potentially be able to end world hunger. So like nobody goes hungry anymore, theoretically, right? And the reason why that was so fascinating, and the reason why they compared it to Elon Musk, is because Elon Musk went and bought Twitter for $60 billion, you guys. There's like, I feel like we're at the point where money is just insane now. Like, I don't think anyone really knows or understands what the impact of $1 billion is. What effect money in those mass numbers actually have anymore. Because you hear like Elon Musk is worth like hundreds of $1 billion, and there's multiple people that are worth multiple billions of dollars, right? Well, I guess I don't know if it's the people. Is it the people or their company? I don't know. But anyway, the point is money's just so arbitrary now. It just seems crazy that there's so much money out there, and maybe there's just a US problem in particular, because I know the US economy is just going crazy about printing a ton of money. The inflation is just insane. Lots of crazy stuff. But I just thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know if it's like, what's funny though is I hear things like these and I see these posts, and my initial thought is to be like, get kind of mad, like what the heck? We could have ended world hunger for $6 billion. I mean, I don't have $6 billion. I guess I can't afford to end world hunger. But then, theoretically, in my head, it seems like, oh, Elon Musk has the money to doesn't end world hunger. He buys Twitter instead. Like, that's kind of interesting. But the more I look into things, I'm just kind of like, I'm not going to like, I react way less now, basically. Like, I don't know exactly what this information means, but it's still really interesting to learn about it, right? I hope I'm not the only one. I mean, I can stop the rant about money that just is uncomprehendable now. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks, Prudence. Prudence says, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome, Danielle, Mark. Ooh, we got Todd here. Todd says YouTube. Said the live was in 4 hours. Oh, really? My bad. Well, at least it's live now. I might have actually hit something saying to schedule it out for 4 hours. I didn't mean to, though. But it looks like we're live, so I think it's working. What's up, Anthony? Anthony says, hey, what's up, my boy? Hello. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Oh, thanks so much for the donation, Denise. You're amazing. Aw, thank you. Oh, let's see. I can better read these comments a little bit better, hopefully. Probably him individually, but it doesn't mean it is all in cash. Yeah, that's true. I just saw on the Tonight Show. Well, I don't know if it was the Tonight Show. One of the talk show radio hosts, whatever things, they were talking about how um, you don't. They were just talking about some tax evasion thing, um, and comparing it to the way that Elon Musk did it. Right? He did. Sorry, not. I don't know if it's called tax evasion, but he was able to avoid paying some taxes because a lot of his assets are not what they call like liquid, I guess, not like readily available. You can't tax stocks, right? And most of his wealth is in the Tesla stock company. So they can't tax him on it because he doesn't technically have it, they were saying. But he goes to, a bunch of huge corporations, a lot of rich people, rich companies, and he says, loan me $60 billion so I can buy Twitter worth it. Or I don't know if it was Twitter. I don't remember the exact example they're sharing. But he goes to these companies, says, loan me this billions of dollars so that I could buy this. And the the asset that he uses to like be his security or like show that he'll be able to pay them back is his Tesla stock. So he's able to use Tesla stock that can't be taxed because it's not real, kinda. So, like they don't know the exact realistic price for it, so you can't tax something that's going to be going up and down constantly, I guess. But then he was able to use that to get a loan out to buy, this multi-billion-dollar thing. So it's like the perfect little loophole because he's able to use it as credit to buy stuff and get loans, but he doesn't have to pay taxes on it. Isn't that weird? Because like not a real thing, but it's real enough for people to loan him money, knowing that he's got those stocks. So it's like I just feel like the more I learn about it, the more I'm like, money doesn't make sense, you guys. I don't know. Maybe I mean it's just it gets so complicated. I feel like it's crazy. So I mean you might be right, Todd. I think it might be Elon Musk individually's net worth is that, but it's counting all of his companies, all of his assets, all his stocks. But oh, Amanda's here. What's up, Amanda? Amanda says hello from Cammy and Amanda. Oh, heck yeah. Everyone's saying hi, Amanda. Hi, Cammy. Hi from New Zealand. Heck yeah, that's so cool. Hey, Cammy and Amanda, you should write yourselves a note to look for that family tree link. Hello, Todd. Supply change. Yeah, I feel like I have to do a bunch of homework on all this stuff, you guys. Exactly. Yes, thank you for the reminder, Megan. Hey, Eskel, just joined from Amanda's channel. Yeah, Amanda's live was fun today. She had some frustrations with technology, but I've kind of just given up on that. I've been like, moving and going places a lot, so I haven't really had my whole setup. I just go live from my phone lately, but oh man, lots of comments, you guys. I'm gonna try to catch up on these, but inflation is caused by a lot of things. The government printing money causes inflation too. I know, and I understand there's a lot of you guys that aren't from the US. So a lot of these things I bring up, it might not be as relevant, but to me, I still share them because I feel like it's just fascinating ways to see how kind of the rich people view money, first of all, and what are some of the things that they're doing with it. I wonder how they decide, where they're going to put their money when they've got so much. It would, to me, I can't fully comprehend it, but it just feels like there's a sense of it wouldn't feel like purchasing things anymore. It almost seems like when you're that rich, it's a transaction or like a trade. You're almost back to the old-fashioned ways of I'll give you this business building for these business investments or these homes for this stock or whatever. It's like it's crazy. Amanda's asking you, Anthony, isn't it like 3 a.m. in the UK? Is Anthony still up? Oh yeah, Anthony's right here. Hey, Amanda. and Cami from Leeds, England, UK. Yeah, Anthony usually stays up super late or early, I guess, over there. Yeah, Eskel, it is a wee quit in the mic covered on your phone. Wait, what? Yeah, Eskel, it is a wee quiet it in the mic covered on your phone. Oh, is it covered? Let me try moving it. Maybe I can try and make it louder. Like tilt the mic a little bit more towards me or something. Ooh. It takes money to make money too. That's true. Yeah. But we have to have hope for us poor people. It does take money to make money, but you can work your way up, you can still accomplish things, set goals. But I'm a believer that you're not just going to accomplish your dreams and goals just by happen chance. I feel like you do got to set goals, you got to actually make plans and figure out where your goals are and then make even micro goals to get to those. So I'm only a few episodes into Sister Wives. Can someone tell me, is Cody Brown from one of the cults? Or yeah, he's from the AUB, I'm pretty sure. Amanda would know more on that. Amanda's coming out with a video reviewing Sister Wives with Cody Brown, but she really hates Cody Brown, so I don't know if it's gonna go that well. I'm sure it'll be fun though. I have learned so much from your lives and Amanda's too. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. I get those a lot, and a lot of the times I feel like um, when I am preparing these lives or thinking of what to say, it puts a little bit of pressure on me, and I wonder like what people are gonna think of them. But really, I think bottom line, even if like the information that is shared is more like just chillax, just a casual conversation, I still think it could be beneficial because not only am I here to try and like share different perspectives and to try and like compare to when I was growing up in a cult and the things that I noticed and saw being raised in a cult and comparing them to this outside world, I guess you could say. But I also just really appreciate the community. I think this is a huge opportunity for me to be able to get to know new people, to be able to reach out to new people, have all of you guys to be able to have as like people to learn from as well, to have these discussions with. And then it's also like personal growth. This is like basically me documenting my experiences. It's a weekly documentation of new things that I'm learning, new things that I'm discovering on the outside, what I'm realizing about living in the, I guess, the American cultured world versus growing up in a cult. And it's crazy. There's a lot of similar things, and sometimes because of my background, I can't help but relate it all to a cult system set up and see some of the similarities and the differences. I think that's where my obsession with the American government comes from, because I can't help but feel like America just has a bunch of these leaders and we don't really know them that well. They tend to keep lots of secrets. Some of them we catch in lies, but they have so much control and they're trying to almost push it onto a lot of the American people. And I can't help but be like, wow, that feels a little too familiar to the cult that I grew up in. So it definitely is interesting. But that's another thing. It's like just like that with the whole ending world hunger if you had $6 billion. Whether that's true or not, it's like I'm not just gonna kick myself and like go to my room and cry because I don't have $6 billion to end world hunger, because that's not gonna help anything either, right? But if I can take the information that I have to better understand maybe what it would take to be able to succeed or to grow or accomplish the things that I want to accomplish, then that's enough. Even if they're tiny little steps to make it to somewhere better, to be improving and progressing every single day. I feel like that's what my goal is, so that I don't get overwhelmed or just like unmotivated with how much that needs to be worked on in the world, or how many things that are just can be tough, because I'm not gonna lie and say we're in a perfect world. There's a lot of things that I would love to improve, a lot of things that I want to make better in my life, and a lot of strange things about the world that I don't necessarily want to implement into my life that I would definitely want to change. But even then, like so many times when I think of how hard it is, how there's so many homeless people. Like I've been in Seattle a lot lately, and I've seen so many homeless people. Like it may be more homeless people than I've ever seen in my life. And I can't help but think of that. There's so many things in our world that's like it can be a little bit sad. It can be hard to have to go through, and there's a lot of tough things. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, but there's still a sense of wanting to improve and wanting to grow and wanting to do better, knowing that there's people that you affect, people that you can help. Sorry, lots of good comments, you guys. Hello. Um, but and then though, a lot of the times, um, I even like compare it to other things like North Korea, right? If you just even start looking into North Korea's issues even a little bit, it's like I think you could be in some of the worst situations in America, and it would still probably be better than living in North Korea. But in fact, let me just show you guys some of the crazy facts that I found about it. Again, don't know if this is true. I don't know how we would even know these things if we can't go to North Korea. I'm pretty sure it's cut off from us. But according to Google, it says that some of the craziest restrictions in North Korea is that you can't. Hairstyles are restricted. Like they literally regulate what kind of hairstyles that you can have in North Korea. Like how much control do you have to have over your people? They're not just complaining like us Americans complaining about how high the taxes are, right? Paying a lot in taxes and stuff. But over there, they can't even cut their hair they want the way they want to. That would be really sad. And what was the other one? The punishments can go beyond one generation. Like I guess if you do something that they don't like, then not only you will get punished, because they have crazy things like they'll just kill people just for upsetting the leader there. But it gets even worse than that. They can literally punish you and your next generations for up to 3 generations. It's so crazy. Todd says, Eskel, why are you in your car? Oh, because I went and reserved a room to be able to do it in, and then I ran out of time when I was preparing for my live, so I was just should have booked it for longer. And there's lots of people doing stuff at my apartment. I went to try and go do it at Rachel's apartment, and she's there right now, and her dog is really loud. Oh, also my car is pretty quiet. I found a really cool part outside, but it's a little bit windy today, and I'm in a really busy part of town. So when I was setting it up, getting things like trying to find a good spot to do it, then it just seemed like it was too loud. So I was like, at least in my car, it kind of like blocks out some of the traffic noise and like, all the people wandering around, just looking at me talk to my phone. Denise, yep. Hello, what's up, Brooke? Welcome. Anthony says, North Korea people have escaped, and yes, over there, it's literally be like their dictator or be killed. To be fair, Russia isn't that far behind. Oh, dang, that's crazy. Oh, so that's probably how we know about these absurd rules about the people that have escaped, huh? And tell us about it. That would be so crazy. Can you imagine? Like, I've heard some of the horror stories of all the things that they have to go through to escape, and then for them to get on the outside, and just like that, we're comparing the regular world life to your cult experience life, and them comparing it to a whole dictatorship world that they were living in, and constantly being scared to speak your mind, can't do anything that's of your own like thought process of what you actually want to do. You make your own choices and stuff. You just have to do what they tell you to. It's just crazy. It's also that's something that's kind of fascinating to notice that happens in lots of different places. It's like there's cults everywhere, and I think it's a little bit. It almost makes you think it comes from some sort of like um, human nature or something. Oh, what's up, Levi? Welcome to my live. I don't know if it's been a really long time. I don't know if I've ever seen you on my lives, but thanks for commenting. Thanks for joining. Hello, hello. Hope you're having a good week. My week's been a lot of fun. I feel like I've talked about this almost every single week now since I moved to Seattle, but it's just been fun. It's been awesome getting to know the place, meeting new people, learning new cultures. yeah, just exploring new parts of the world. It's been awesome. Denise says, I watched the Vice videos about North Korea where they smuggled a camera and it was very scary. They got a camera inside. That's crazy. I wonder, yeah, I wonder how they haven't snuck more things in, you know? Or like, I gotta watch that documentary. I don't know what parts they focused on. That'd be really cool. Eskel, did you ever meet your dad's younger brother? Yeah, I've met pretty much all of my dad's siblings, for the most part. One of them is dead, but I mean, he has also a sister, I think, that's dead. But yeah, I've met all of his brothers. Sorry, I know. Yeah, my voice or my mic volume is really low right now, but I don't exactly know why. I'm gonna have to see if I can fix that or something. I just gotta talk really loud. Normally, I'm a really loud person. I guess today, maybe because it's been, I don't know, just been a wild weekend. I haven't yelled a lot this weekend though, so I don't know why. Eskel, I can't believe you're in my home state. Maybe one day I can annoy you in person, lol. Yeah, Brooke, I'm happy to meet up with people. I'm so down. I'm hoping to go meet up with Denise. I want to plan a trip. I now live a lot closer to Canada because Seattle is, I want to say 4, maybe 5 hours away from the border. So, not too far away. I think that'd be really cool. It is going to happen, Denise. There you go. Yes, manifestation. We're going to make it happen. Even if I got to swim over there. No, I have my passport and everything. I don't know what's stopping me. I'm literally going to be going to Canada in the next couple weeks. But Canada is huge, obviously. So it turns out the spot that I'm going to is going to be pretty far away from where you're at. So we're just going to have to plan another trip. Oh, have any of you guys sucks to live in an autocracy like North Korea or Russia or Anthony says, Eskel, you're slowly getting closer to the UK. Keep coming closer, please. I want to visit the UK one day. The hardest part about the UK is just there's so much water to go across. It costs a lot of money to get over there. But I definitely want to visit it. I think it would be really cool. Tattoo and bungee jumping is on the list. People can add suggestions. Yeah, that would be really cool. Heck yeah, Denise. We got to create like this big old bucket list of stuff to do. We should do things that I have never done before. I think that would be really cool. I'm trying to do something a little bit like that on Patreon. If you guys follow me on Patreon, you know I post some videos on there of some things that I've never done before. And so I'm trying to just, you know, find more things like that. Like I posted skydiving, obviously, that's a huge one on my bucket list. And I just got to keep working on my bucket list, figure out what things I want to do before this life is over, because it's going to go by way faster than you could ever imagine. And I don't want it to just seem over, you know? I don't want it to feel like I missed out on so many opportunities or there's so many things that I wanted to do and couldn't. I want to be able to look back and just feel this sense of like, yeah, I lived life, you know, the life that I had was very meaningful, so worth it, and I enjoyed every minute of it, you know. My son's flying out from Seattle to Salt Lake City next weekend to spend time with my daughter. Aw, that sounds fun. I'm excited for them to spend time together. That's really cool. Yeah, there's a lot more flights. When I went to go visit Utah most recently, there was a lot of flights coming from Salt Lake City to get to Salt Lake City than it was to get back to Seattle. Seattle, it's weird though because the Salt Lake City airport is huge. They just remodeled it and made it way big. That I didn't think that was going to be such a problem, but I guess Seattle's just more popular. I'm pretty sure people come to Seattle more than they go to Salt Lake City. Yeah, Canada is huge. Definitely not close enough to visit here too. I'm 1 hour west of Toronto, but maybe someday. See, that would be cool. Yeah, like the dream, of course, is to just travel everywhere, man. That would be so cool. Go and just visit everybody. There's a falcon place where you can feed one on your arm. Wow. You know, Denise, I had a pet falcon when I was younger. This is actually back when I was still in the cult. I really wanted a pet bird so bad, and I didn't really know the difference between falcons and eagles and hawks and or whatever. And so what I did is went with one of my cousins, and he like had done all this research about birds and different animals and how to catch them, right? Because I didn't have really money to go and just buy myself a pet falcon. I didn't even know if you can do that. I'm not sure if falcons are just, pet animals. Um, but I went and did a bunch of research with him, and he helped me create this trap to trap a falcon. And we literally went and drove around the forest, just driving all throughout the woods until we spotted one. And we took a little mouse that we had bought from like a pet store, put the mouse in the little trap, and put it out and drove away. And we're just watching the falcon, and like took a good hour or two, but eventually the falcon comes down and tries to catch the mouse, and the trap is able to actually somehow wrapped around it. I don't even know exactly how it worked, but it wrapped around it, and the cage was big and heavy enough that it couldn't fly away with the cage. And I got myself a pet falcon. It was really cool. I fed it just like mice and raw chicken and things like that, and kept it alive for a decent amount of time until eventually I couldn't keep it any longer, so I just had to let it go back into the wild. But it was still cool. I had a pet falcon for a couple weeks. It was awesome. Last time they spent time together, she flew to Seattle. Oh, cool. Oh, so your son probably lives here in Seattle then, huh? They send me a selfie from the Space Needle. Oh man, that's so cool. Yeah, I finally gone to the Space Needle, and it was really fun. Poutine and maple syrup. Okay, I will think. Oh, smoked salmon. Nice. Yeah, what kind of foods is Canada known for? I feel like I want to go and try those all when I'm there. I know, of course, maple syrup. I think that's huge. Oh, is that what she's answering there? Poutine, maple syrup. Okay, I will think, and smoked salmon. So those are the three main foods, maybe. Needs to eat, but get Eskel to eat your favorites. But film it so we can see different Canadian dishes. Oh, that would be cool. A whole video on the Canadian culture. That would be a lot of fun. What are some of the Denise, what would you describe as some of the coolest and most fascinating, but also strangest things about Canada? If you had to choose them out, what do you think they would be? Because I think it'd be really cool to do a video where you're like showing the perspectives of, Canada as its own different culture, different place, but also pointing out the amazing aspects of it, but then some of the strange things. I feel like every culture and every country, every place has things that are really cool and awesome about them, fun to learn, but they also almost always you can find something that is going to feel or seem strange to the rest of the world, because it's one of those things that's just um, socially acceptable or just normal there, but not everywhere else. I think that would be really interesting to look into. But that's something that fascinates me for sure. I don't know if it would fascinate all you guys as well. Denise also says fries with cheese curds and gravy. Oh, that's what poutine is. Huh. Interesting. It's sad that I live in Nanaimo and didn't say that. Okay, it is sad that I live in Nanaimo and didn't say that. Why is that sad? You don't like where you live, Denise? Denise Pace, what's poutine? I in the UK, so intrigued as Canadian food would be so cool to try. Denise, who was it, Denise? I'm pretty sure it was Denise sent me a whole thing of Canadian snacks, and the one that was the strangest one to me was ketchup chips. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what ketchup is. You put ketchup on your French fries, whatever. But they made, I think it was with the Lay's company too, they made chips that were ketchup flavored. So you didn't dip them in ketchup, but you just ate them flavored with this ketchup flavoring dust, whatever. I don't know what it's called, but it was actually really interesting, and I enjoyed it. Like, they tasted good. In Canada, we say sorry for everything and hold doors for people who are feet away. Oh, that would be awkward. I like the sorry thing. I love that Canadians are so like nice, and they just have this demeanor about them, or this like vibe, whatever you want to call it, of just being super duper nice. And I'm like, what does I can't find anything wrong with that. I think that's awesome. Hey, what's up, Val? We got Val here. Try butter tarts when you go. Butter tarts. Is that like a pastry? That sounds really good. And show you their culture. Yeah, do like an exchange of interesting things. Oh, interesting things about the Canadian culture versus the American culture. What would I bring though? Like, should I just bring them like a bald eagle or something? Just gonna have the bald eagle fight with the Canadian goose. No, just kidding. That would be funny. No, I guess I could bring. What are some just American things? Should I just bring like a Twinkie, some donuts, or something? Ketchup chips are the bomb. Oh yeah, that is awesome. Denise, I've done that too. LOL. England has weird food. London would have pork pie. Ew. Mushy peas. Most places fish and chips. Yeah, fish and chips sound good. Mushy peas. Totally. Peas totally and spotted dick. Huh. That seems interesting. The place Denise lives and the snack I suggested is pronounced Nanny Mo. Oh, Nanny Mo. That's cool. People being polite. What a concept. I know, right? Why does that have to be such a unique thing? I think. Well, here's the thing. It's people's characters, you know? It's like the way that they are and their demeanor. And it makes me want to go back to that whole nature versus nurture thing. But instead of doing that, I talked about that so many times on my channel. I want to ask you guys about the egg analogy. Have you guys heard about this one? If you were turned into an egg and it would take, you had to survive as an egg, you know, this vulnerable, tiny little egg for a whole year, then you would get $1 million. But the twist is, if anyone breaks you, they get the $1 million that you would have gotten. So, who in this world would you trust to not only trust them to be able to take care of a fragile egg for a whole year and make sure it doesn't break and kill you, but also not kill you for the $1 million, right? And then, of course, if they keep you alive, you can agree with them to split the million 50-50 or whatever. But I heard this analogy on TikTok the other day, and I was like, wow, there's probably, like, legit only like 3, maybe 4 people on the planet that I would trust with that, you know? So it's like, that's a very interesting concept. Who do you trust? And what motivates people more, you know? Are relationships as meaningful as we oftentimes like portray them to be, or is money most people's top priority, you know? Is that what everybody wants? Maybe someone who already has $1 million, but then, well, that's a good point, I guess, because then you know they're not going to kill you for the $1 million. But what if also, if they're a flippin' rich millionaire, maybe they won't care enough, they won't take the most proper care of an egg, and you might just die by natural causes, you know? Because so it has to be someone who really cares enough about you to prioritize making sure your egg doesn't die, because in theory, in this theory, if the egg dies, you die. So that's a pretty big deal. Yes, please send the Leeds England too. Nice. Definitely get Eskel to try mushy peas, spotted dick, or jam Raleigh Polly with custard. Ooh, those sound interesting. Your chocolate is the best. Oh, American chocolate, or are you talking about England chocolate? Because yeah, if I were to guess, I'd actually say England's chocolate, or the UK's, what is it called? European chocolate. I think that's the best term. Because I've tried lots of different candies from Europe, and I don't know the specific region that they come from. I think I've tried some from all sorts of different ones, and I've liked a lot of them, even more than American chocolates. But some people like American chocolate more, so it just depends. I think the best chocolate I've ever had in my whole life, though, is from Grenada. It's from a small island, Grenada, and they're like, I think that just purely what made theirs the best is their nutmeg. I had their like, no, what was it? Yeah, nutmeg chocolate. And they grow their own nutmeg, unlike any other nutmeg in the world, and it's just amazing. It was so freaking good. Val, French Canadian food is the most interesting, definitely. Okay. French Canadian. That's interesting. When you already have billions of dollars, $1 million is a drop in the bucket. That's true. That's true. That's why earlier at the beginning of this live, when I was talking about you know, the potential number for ending world hunger being $6 billion, and like the fact that Elon Musk and rich people are worth billions of dollars, and all of those, if they're American, if they're living in America, making those billions of dollars, nearly 50% of their income goes towards taxes. They have to pay taxes to the government. So if they're making $100 billion, then theoretically their tax bracket would be roughly $50 billion that they're paying to the government. Although they all find a lot of like tax loopholes, and if they reinvest the money back into the company, so if they spend it, then they don't have to pay taxes on it. So I guess they're not actually paying 50%, but that's the margin that you'd be in. If you are American and you make over, I think it's like a million to 10 million or something like that, then you're in the 50% tax bracket. I think the actual number might be like 48% or something like that, but you theoretically have to pay 50% off of all of your profit that you make with your company. So to me, I'm like, that means the biggest, greediest motherfucker of them all? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But, anyways, I might be jumping to conclusions though. It just sometimes it can look that way. But, Val says sounds yummy. Yeah, Val, you should make that on your channel. Ooh, Val, you could do like a um around the world cooking episode and trying things from all over. I was thinking the same thing, Denise. Aw, heck yeah. Cadbury is the UK but owned by an American company. Kraft owns a lot of it now, but because it's a monarchy endorsed company, the receipts are different from Europe and USA as different rules. Hey, Anthony, this will be a great question to ask because I've always wanted to know. And Denise, if you know this for Canada too, I am super curious about this because, like that, I've been looking into the whole tax brackets here in America and just been outraged by how high it is. But Anthony, do you know for the UK or over in Europe what the tax brackets are like there? How much money is purely being taken away in taxes for people over there? And Denise, do you know that for Canada? Because I mean, I think America it has taxes incredibly high, and it seems pretty wild. But my guess is other countries probably do something similar, right? Like, did we just pull those numbers out of our butt? Like, is there an actual reason why the percentage is so high? Because, and here's the thing, I always like translate things to my own understanding, right? So I watched this whole video about the American tax bracket. And from my understanding, anyone who's a tax expert out there, please correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding, it goes something like this. If you are poor in America, then you actually get money back from taxes. You can file taxes here in America and be like, oh, I'm homeless, I didn't make any money at all. If you realistically made $0 and somehow, I don't know how you would survive, but I'm sure there's people that don't make money, and then you will actually get a tax return from the US government. And this happens even if you only make a little bit of money. If you only make $5,000 for that year, then you'll get a tax return. You won't have to technically pay any taxes, even though a lot of the times throughout the year you'll pay a percentage of your paycheck to the government as your taxes, but you'll get all of that back and sometimes even more in your tax return, all the way up until $20,000. That's what I understand as the breaking point. Once you make more than $20,000, you do actually pay, and you don't get it back. You do pay, like, it's roughly pretty low, but it's like, you know, between 10 to 15% of taxes. So you make $20,000, you pay like 10% of whatever that is, and you don't get that 10% back at all. Now, then there's a whole nother tax bracket that changes once you hit like 50,000. Once you make $50,000, then you're paying like, I don't know, 15 to like 17% taxes or something like that. Then once you're between 50,000 to 100,000, at the $100,000 line, it changes. I don't know the exact numbers. I'm just saying roughly once you're making this much money, then it goes up to almost 20%. If you make $100,000 in the US, in America, you're paying almost 20 something percent on your taxes. and then it goes all the way up. I didn't pay a ton of attention to all the middle incomes, but once you hit $1 million is when it just outrageously changes. Like you're paying 40% taxes. If you make $10 million, you're paying 48% in taxes, and just crazy stuff like that. And then of course billionaires, it's at that 50% tax. But I'm pretty sure, from my understanding from just YouTube videos and Googling it, 50% or 52%, basically 50% was the highest that I found in the US. So I'm just curious if and that was somewhere between the million and of course up to $1 billion was paying that much percent in taxes, which I think that seems a little bit crazy. I don't know. I definitely got to do more research as to why. I wish what would be more important is to know why. Why it's so high, what the money goes towards and things like that. I feel like if I knew that, I'd feel like it could be a lot better justified why taxes are so high. That is why the English cream eggs are so much better. Oh, heck yeah. English cream eggs. That sounds good. Val's channel. Yeah, go check out his channel, you guys. Okay, Todd says, I used to work with business owners. They don't pull the money out of their business. They pay themselves a small salary so they don't have to pay much taxes and buy things under the company name. Yeah, see, that's one of those loopholes that a lot of rich people use so they don't have to pay as much in taxes. I just put on my Stitch nightgown. Oh, nice. That actually makes sense, Todd, as the company can use more loopholes to pay less taxes. Yeah, a lot of rich people do that. I know when I was a student, I didn't have to pay income tax. I believe the more you make, the more you pay. Exactly. Oh, wait. Todd, I should know this. I feel kind of bad. Where are you from again? Anthony says, so anything below 12,000 is no tax. Then anything between 12,500 and 50K, 20% tax. Anything above that is 40% tax. Oh, wow. So it just goes straight to 20% and straight to 40%? Dang. But that sounds pretty, that sounds like it's a little bit more of a jump. It doesn't have as much in-betweens like here in America. But that sounds pretty close to the same, right? Because here, once you're making 20,000 or more, you're paying like 10 to 15%. Once you're making 50,000, oh, I guess it sounds like it's a little bit less here then. Huh. Because only 12,000, but then I have to translate what 12,500 pounds would be in American money, which I don't think it's double, so it wouldn't quite be 20 grand, I don't think. So yeah, okay, dang. Sounds like the UK might even be higher tax percentages that you have to pay. Okay, Denise says about 7% income tax depending on your income level, 5% at the lowest. Okay, wow, so Canada's got a pretty low tax bracket, and 20% at the highest. Oh wow, so no one has to pay more than 20% taxes in Canada. I'm moving in. Heck yeah, that's so cool though. Dang. Danielle says, wow, I'm going to make a decent amount as a respiratory therapist one day. Of course, I won't tell you what I'll make on average per year for privacy reasons. I have mixed feelings about that because I really like the idea of just everyone being open about how much they make, but I do understand that it's kind of tough. I I want I want to believe that if everyone was just open and honest, it would help people to, not get screwed over, to make sure that they are actually getting paid what they're worth and not having, all of their coworkers getting paid double what they're getting paid. They would know what price range to kind of fight for in the company that they're working in, right? But whenever I bring this up to people, then they talk about, well, what about all of the issues with being able to hire? Like the companies will have issues when they're hiring people if they have to always pay, like they can't pay below a certain price if it's always constantly going up. But I don't know. I just think transparency is usually a good thing that I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if there would be a lot of bad things about sharing your income. Because I mean, up until now, I've always said what I've made, but it was easy. It was way easy because I made like nothing. I told you guys how I was making like $500 a month on YouTube, and what was it, like 250 a month on Patreon, and then I had my 9 to 5 job that I was working when I was working for Microsoft. I made like, it was $17 an hour, and I was averaging, since it was semi part time, I was averaging $2,000 a month, and like it was so easy for me to share that because like I didn't feel any reason to lie. It was such a low income that I was just like, yeah, it's just, it's basically nothing. It I it was super easy to just be super open and honest about everything I made. And I'm like, I don't think any repercussions came from that. So I'm like, what's the big deal about just always sharing your income, how much you make, how much someone might be able to expect to make in this certain field or in this type of job or whatever they're doing, you know? I don't know. If you guys have good reasons, definitely share them with me in the comments. I want to talk about this because I'm trying to think what what might be some issues with that, but if I can't find any, I'm just not going to worry about it. I think it's great to just let everyone know how much you make, what your net worth is. Because here's the thing, bottom line, once you're like rich enough, you don't even really get a say in it anymore. Like for example, like Tom Holland or The Rock or these huge famous people, you can literally Google their net worth, and like everyone just knows how much they make. So it's like privacy is almost like no, not non-existent, but like privacy changes depending on how badly or many people want to know information about you, then it just gets harder and harder to keep it to yourself. But Todd says, happens all the time, Darcy. The downside is it is hard to get a loan because you can't prove how much you make. Why couldn't you prove how much you make? Handing everything over to my uncle and let him figure out my taxes. Can't prove how much you make. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to prove how much you make. Anything over 125K, you pay 45% on. Oh, see, that seems pretty high too. Todd's in Orlando. Oh, okay. So Todd, you're from here in the U.S., right? So what was Todd saying about it? I know when I was a student, I didn't have to pay income tax. I believe the more you make, the more you pay. Yeah, that's exactly what it seems like to be the case for me, from what I've learned as well. Let's see if this makes it any brighter. Oh man, that made it a lot brighter. Then there is a sales tax. Oh yeah, that's another interesting about here in America. There's a sales tax for the government sales and then the state sales. But a lot of the states don't have sales tax. Like here in Washington, there's no sales tax, and in Texas, there's no sales tax. But I believe in Utah there was a sales tax, and sometimes it's like 6%, 5%, something like that. I wonder what the government sales tax is. I don't remember what that is. My guess is around 5% though. But just Google average pay of a respiratory therapist. Haha. So now she knows how much you make. No, but see, every therapist probably makes a little bit different. But you can get a good ballpark of what is kind of the average. Remember, $10,000 to the UK money is about 9,600 pounds. Oh, so it's really close, huh? So pounds is a little bit more, but it's still pretty similar. That's not bad. My thing is safety reasons. The hospital I hope to work at is generous with pay no matter what your department is. That's awesome. But see, that's another thing. Should corporations and hospitals be required to make the pay known? Like, for example, there's a glass door company that their entire job and their whole business is figuring out how much people get paid in certain companies or big corporations or whatever, and then posting it all over the internet so everybody knows. And I'm like, I mean, that doesn't seem illegal or anything. So I've seen people whose business make 1 million a year but couldn't get an equity line for 20K. Wow, dang. Yeah, that's tough. I can tell you I pay 40% taxes. Oh my gosh. However, Yes, it hurts, but I feel I deserve to pay more as it's my responsibility to pay for kids going to school and help pay to the next generation. Oh, see? That's, wow. That sounds really nice, Anthony. Now, but then that would lead me to the question of, how do you know that it's going towards, kids and school and education? What in the world, where is the tax um, proof? Like, we have to prove our income, prove, like, when we get audited and stuff, right? We have to show all this proof of where our money's coming from, where our money goes, and all this stuff. How come the government doesn't have to prove where our taxes go to? That, like, really pisses me off. The government can just spend whatever they want, do whatever the frick they want with our money and not give us a record of it all. Like, no, screw you guys. That's not cool. I don't like that at all, but also with taxes, the US has a marginal tax system. When you go up into the next tax bracket, the higher tax rate is charged on the money more than the bottom limit of the bracket. Dang, I'm not the smartest. I don't even know what that means. Okay, I gotta do my homework, you guys. In BC, sales tax is 7 for provincial and 5 for federal. Okay, so 7 like for the state, and then 5 for the whole government. Okay. Eskel, even lower than I thought. $10,000 in the United States dollar equals 7,700 pounds. Okay. Eskel, that is such a good question. Which one, Amanda? Ask it again. I think the government is supposed to be transparent about it. Yeah, 100%. It's like, it almost seems like a bully, picking on all their citizens, demanding all these things from the citizens, but then themselves, the actual, the government's supposed to be like the parents, I guess you could say, the ones that are regulating things, making sure our country's great, making sure the kids get taken care of, that schools are actually built, and the system's a good system for everybody. But they're just bullying all their citizens to, make sure that they have to pay their taxes, but then they're not doing what they need to make sure we want to pay taxes, to make sure that we can confidently know these taxes aren't just going to corrupt dumb people and they're just being greedy and taking it for themselves, It's like, man, they should have to tell us what they're using it for. I believe at least local municipalities have to release financials. Okay. I agree with you, Eskel. That's why I don't watch any political shows on TV. I know, but see, that's where I'm torn, because I hate politics. I hate watching all these, debates and people argue, and CNN always posting about everything wrong with the other side and all of the problems and this and that. But then I'm like, frick, if I don't pay at least a little bit of attention to these politics and the new, who's going to be the next elected and what's going to happen, what we're voting for, then it's like, I feel like then it's going to be chosen by other people, People are going to have more of a say in, what policies are going to be made and what new laws are going to come out and things like that. And I'm like, flip. As much as I hate politics and all the debates that they get into, it's like I feel a little bit like I need to try and learn some of it so that they don't screw me over, But see, that's what sucks. I feel like I can't trust my own government. I just gotta go move to another new country. Denise, I'm just gonna move in with you, okay? Scoot over. Oh man. I wonder what migration laws are for like the UK and Canada, because is that even possible? Can I just go move to Canada? Are they gonna kick me out? Because I know here in America, like, I don't even like my own country's rules on immigration, because they're mean. Like I said, a lot of the times my own government is bullies. They just bully other people, and it's like, what the heck? That's not cool. They just try to hurt everybody and kick everybody out. It's like, man, we gotta be more reasonable. Canada's budget is distribution much differently. Hence, we have much lower taxes and free health care. Oh yeah, free health care is something that basically every country has, but here in America. UK tax goes to, man, the more I talk, the more I'm like just dissing on my own country. It's kind of sad. I'm sure there are some good things about being here in America, okay? I still like America. I I think America's cool and whatnot, but it's got its issues for sure. UK tax goes to the government, but then schooling is free, and the police and the fire services generally free. Okay, yeah. There's a lot of the expected things that the taxes go towards, like roads. Roads are one of those things that you have to have some sort of like um, group pot that everyone puts their money in for roads, because everybody wants roads, obviously, but nobody can afford to manufacture billions of dollars worth of roads everywhere that they want to go, right? Yes, the UK, the schooling is free. Heck yeah. If you move to Canada, you have to learn French. Is that like the second most common language in Canada or something? All the schools, though there are private schools, my sister and her husband both work in the kids' private school education. I think it's $13,000 each a year, or is that $130,000? Oh wait, no, $13,000 each a year. Oh wow, for the private school systems. Okay, yeah, here it's weird because here in America, technically the school is free when you're younger, like from elementary up to high school, but then college is just outrageously expensive, and then they still have private schools as well. So you can always pay more money if you want. There's a website for the Government Accountability Office, the GAO. Oh, interesting. I'm gonna put that in my notes. GAO. I wonder what kind of bull crap they're feeding us on that website. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully it's good stuff. We'll see. Where to go? Where to go? The GAO, Government Accountability Office. Government Accountability Office. Okay, I'm gonna look that up. Sweet. Okay. I think that's pretty much all the time I have for this live, you guys. But this is awesome. I definitely need to do more homework. You guys always give me great ideas of things to research and look into. And that's one of the coolest things about having people from all around the world. Like if there was, sometimes we have like Australians in here and stuff like that. If we had um, just different ideas that we throw out here, and you guys can all share different things from each of you guys' countries that you live in, and then the different parts of the world that you guys are in. I think that's so cool. This was super interesting. Thanks, Denise. I'm glad you liked it. I really enjoyed it too. I loved all you guys' participation. I really appreciate all of you educated people that give me facts and share in the comments and help me answer questions. That's been awesome. Really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see you all next week, you guys. Hope you all have another good week. And yeah, I don't know. If you want to watch more, if you enjoy these discussions, definitely subscribe. And if my weekly lives aren't enough, you can always join my Patreon. We'll have lots more discussions over there. And we'll be creating some sort of outline, make a plan for like my bucket list, new things to try, and hopefully get them on film, share them with you guys. Eskel, what we got to remember, people come here for a better life. Yeah, that's the focus. And so if there's anything that you guys can take away from this, it's that sometimes I feel like there's not a whole lot you can do. You know, when you look at your government, they're in control. They're these big, powerful people. But every individual does have a voice, though. So if you can use that even in the smallest bit to try and help people question what the government's doing, try and encourage people to, want to actually make a difference, want to be able to notice their voice and notice how much of an impact that they can have, then I think that's good. I think that's actually helping. So thank you guys. Thanks you all for the support and all the kind words that you guys have said. This was a really great one, and everything in the comments was super nice today. I loved it. That was awesome. I'll read the last few comments and then we'll probably call it good. Plus, America isn't the only country where healthcare isn't free. That's true. I'm sure there's other ones. But we have French immersion schools. Oh, that's cool. Yep, but you have to join them in kindergarten. Darcy Jones, I admire your strategy in the life. That's the important things. Denise says they usually have long wait lists because they are small class sizes and like a private school education. Oh. Bye, Taylor. Thanks for watching. Bye, Brooke. Bye, Danielle. Danielle says immigration is strict for a reason. It's to protect the citizens and make sure people who shouldn't be here don't come. Well, yeah, and I totally understand there should be a system, their regulation's not a bad thing. I feel, and I definitely need to do more research, but I've definitely heard from a lot of people and known people personally that it took them like 10 to 20 years to be able to come and become an actual citizen in the U.S. and to officially live here and stuff like that. Just a lot of things that could use some improving for sure. But you should have seen the look on the two specifics that looked awful at the, wait, what? Oh, anyways, thanks, Darcy. Thanks, everyone. Bye. I hope you all have a great week. Awesome. Okay, that was great. We finally got to the bottom of the chat. Dang, that was awesome. We got so many great chats, you guys. So many awesome comments. Thank you, guys. Thanks for all that you guys shared. And I'll see you guys next week or on my Patreon sometime throughout the week. So have a good one. Bye.